Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about the under and over absorption of overheads. But before that, what do you mean by the overheads? In short, we can say that all the indirect material, indirect labor and indirect expenses would be the part of overheads. After that, let us understand the meaning of overhead absorption. Overheads have been allocated. Let us assume that overheads has been allocated and a portion to the various production departments like if we talk about the salary, if we talk about the salary of department head or department foreman or any cost of indirect material issue to department, which I want to say that any expenses allocated to production department or share of common expenses apportioned to the production department like factory rent or factory bills or any kind of expense of storehouse. So all total of all the expenses we can say that total of overheads accumulated for production department amongst its cost unit is called overhead absorption. Means firstly we are going to see whether we have allocated the expenses to a department, whether we have done the apportionment, and total of all the overheads which you are going to accumulate for the production department according to its cost unit is called as overhead absorption. Now let us discuss about the under and over absorption. And over absorption of overheads. There are two types of terms. One is overhead absorbed, another is overhead incurred. For that, let us take one example. After that, it would be very clear to you to understand the term of over and under absorption. Let us assume that our actual overheads in which we can say that indirect material, I told you indirect material, indirect labor and expenses, indirect expenses. It is 40,000, assuming 20,000 and 15. That it is equals to 75,000. And let us assume that our budgeted overhead absorption rate is rupees 10 per unit. So in this case, let me tell you one thing. Our actual production let us assuming the actual production is 9,000 units, and according to rupees 10 budget absorption rate is rupees 10 per unit. In that case our cost would be 90,000, that is budgeted, and our actual expenses, that is 75,000. So in this case our 15,000 is less absorbed. Actual is 75,000 and we have, how much we have absorbed? 90,000. So 15,000 is over absorbed. And let us assume our production is 7,000 units, and for 7,000 into 10, that is 70,000, but actually how much we have absorbed? 75,000, and in this case 5,000 is under absorbed. So I can say that where the absorption of overhead is made or is equals to the actual overhead, then there is no over and under absorption. But when absorbed amount, I'm going to write absorbed amount is less than actual. How much we have absorbed? 70,000, but actual is 75,000. It means it is less, then it is under. Otherwise, if it is more, then it is over absorbed. So we can say that if the overhead absorbed is 90,000 and actually it is incurred, how much we have? Expense is 75,000. Means we have put more value in our overheads, that is 15,000 is over absorbed. And if it is 70,000, here it would be 70,000 instead of 7,000, and the expenses incurred is 75,000. So 5,000 would be the under absorption. Thank you.